Nobody when they died. Why are they not listening?
6 teenagers got into a car together. Only 3 made it out alive.
She was still alive and stopped and said, finish her, finish her. So I shot the girl. That's exactly how it went.
You're how old are you? 12 years old.
Why is that? Yeah, she wrote her. Why am I going to jail? Cause you shot somebody that's dead, boy. What the
On March 30th, 2023, a 16-year-old girl named Layla Silvernail was found unconscious near a dumpster. She was a teenager lying alone in the dark after a night that had started with 6 kids riding together in the same car.
So, around what time did you hear? You said it sounded like a gun?
Yeah, it wasn't a loud gunshot. I would say about 20, 30 minutes ago. It wasn't a loud gunshot, but I heard about 4 or 5. And I kind of blew it off casually, and then I just looked out of my window because I did think it was strange with it, how late it was. And I saw the car run into the dumpster. And once I seen the car run into the dumpster, I stepped out my door, and I seen a man run out of the car down the road towards my yard.
By the following morning, investigators had discovered 2 more victims, Michael Hodo Jr., 17, and Camille Quarles, 16. And when police finally located the car, it was partially submerged in water, with Camille's body locked inside the trunk.
Obviously, there's a lot of people that are saying that they've heard stuff and everything like that, but given like your proximity to knowing it,
I got called from my friend that brother had called him. This is what happened. They shot Camille because she kept moving around, and then they shot Layla.
Now, do you know if that happened like in the car or?
Everything happened in the car.
Okay.
The first suspect brought in was Robert Robinson, 17 years old, who arrived with his mother and immediately began minimizing his role.
Tell me about what 3-5. What do you know? What's his name?
I don't know. I swear to God.
This is Chris?
I swear to God. I don't know.
What does he look like?
3-5.
Okay.
Call him 3-5.
What does he look like?
Kind of like me a little bit.
How old is he?
Young. He young. Like, I don't know, but he young.
Has he been to my house?
3-5? Yeah, man, 3-5 be with.
I don't know them kids, and I tell you, don't give me nicknames. Is it that little light-skinned boy that sits outside my backyard and he has the older brother?
Yes.
Who's the older brother? Is that the they talking about?
Black.
Detectives didn't open with the murders. Instead, they started small, walking Robert through provable, theft-related details, getting him comfortable with admitting smaller truths before the real pressure began.
Last time that we talked, you weren't completely honest.
That's because I didn't steal the car.
I understand that.
I don't know what y'all wanted me to say. Y'all wanted me to tell on somebody. I didn't take it. I didn't do it. So I didn't know what, like, But do you remember the conversation we had last time? Yes.
About going the 2 different paths that you had the choice to make, and you were going down the wrong one, and you still had that opportunity to make it right and choose that new path to get you going on the right, on the right direction of making good decisions and not involving yourself
I've been
with people.
doing straight.
Once Robert had conceded on the minor details, detectives introduced what they already had: surveillance footage, scene evidence, a timeline that didn't match his story, and his version of events began to crack.
I didn't think he was serious until when the car started slowing down and I seen him up the gun. I'm looking, boom, boom.
And who was shot first again?
First. So the one with the gun, so Taj killed him first. Then he shot Layla in her head. And then he told 3-5 to kill that girl in the back. He was not worried about me snitching. That was the last thing he was worried about. He was more worried about 3-5 snitching because 3-5 young and he's scared.
But what made Robert's interrogation truly revealing wasn't just what he admitted. It was what he consistently refused to own.
He said, I killed somebody?
That you were involved.
What do you mean involved?
You were there.
That was it. I didn't, but that's not,
I know.
I was not, listen, when Taj did not text me he was going to kill nobody or nothing like that.
I get that. I get that.
Before we went to go pick up Taj, nobody was ever supposed to die. When Todd said what he said, brother, I didn't think he was serious. And then when he did it, he told me if I snitched, he was gonna kill me. That was it. He didn't. That's all he told me.
I know.
I didn't shoot anybody. I didn't plan it.
No matter how many times his story shifted, one thing stayed constant. He always made sure someone else looked like the main shooter. That deflection would later become the thread that unraveled everything. Where Robert had to be slowly cornered into talking, Taj Brutin started speaking almost immediately.
Robert, Raw was in the middle. So we driving. They like, yo, we finna go and so run this up. He was like, yo, we finna go and take this dirt bike. We finna go rob this dirt bike. What we finna do? Like rob a dirt bike. At this time, I'm already going to. I'm out right now because I'm scared, I'm paranoid, I don't want to go to jail. I'm like, so therefore, I'm like, I'm not finna go rob nobody. You're crazy as hell. Drop me off. Take me back to the spring house.
He was 16 years old, and from the moment the interrogation began, he had a story ready. One where he was barely involved, tried to leave, and was essentially just a passenger caught in the wrong situation at the wrong time.
Robin in 3-5 said that you were the guy in all this.
Okay, I'm not.
I'm like I said, I'm not saying it because it's not true. This is what they told me. They told me that you like pre-planned all this to happen, and then you like forced them to do things. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I also don't want to learn.
But detectives had already spent hours with Robert, and they knew exactly where the gaps were. As they pressed Taj with physical evidence and with what Robert had already told them, his story began shifting.
So, was in the car, did witness it. But at the same time, like I said, a lot of stuff still stands. I didn't have no gun. Never had no gun. I still was sitting where I was sitting at. Everything still is the same except I did witness it.
Well, tell me the whole story one time.
Okay, so Rob, look at me. I'm gonna rob these niggas tonight, and if they don't, exactly how you say it. I'm gonna rob these niggas tonight, and if they don't go for it, I'm gonna kill them.
He eventually admitted the group had gone out that night with the intention of robbing somebody, but even then, he made sure to place every critical decision in Robert's hands. Robert planned it. Robert pulled the trigger first. Taj's confession was detailed, but it was carefully detailed. Just enough truth to seem credible, with the worst fit always pointed somewhere else. Then came the most unsettling part of the entire investigation. Christopher Atkins was 12 years old.
Robert Robinson, Reaper, you guys are friends, right? I've talked to him down there, and he has been 100% honest with me and told me everything. Okay? And a lot of the things he's telling me are pointing at Christopher.
Christopher's first account was vague and clearly rehearsed, but the detective quietly told him that his body language and his story weren't lining up.
Describe to me what his hair looks like. Is it short?
He had a ski mask.
He had a ski mask. What was it? Something that was them ski mask with the eyes and the mouth holes cut out?
Yeah, it was like.
I'm telling you what. If somebody got in the car wearing a ski mask, I'd be like, "What is going on?" I mean, what did you say to him when this guy got in the car?
I would like when he walked in, he said. White guy up there, he said we were finna go get some girl or something, see some girl or something.
Christopher walked investigators through the entire sequence, who was sitting where, who raised the gun, what happened after the shots were fired, and how he was ordered back into the car afterward.
There's another part that we haven't talked about.
Trump?
Mm-hmm. Where did he tell you to open the trunk from?
Are you serious right now?
A child drawing diagrams of a murder scene, filling in the details that the older suspects had spent hours trying to bury. Prosecutors established that what happened on March 30th was a premeditated triple murder, an armed robbery that was always meant to end with no witnesses. The suspects' own words, cross-referenced against each other and against the physical evidence, sealed that conclusion beyond any reasonable doubt. Christopher Atkins pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 40 years, with the possibility of review after 25. Taj Brutin and Robert Robinson each received life in prison. 6 teenagers got into a car, 3 were murdered, and the 3 who survived spent their interrogations doing everything they could to avoid responsibility for a night they had all, in some way, helped plan.